Going into gear now, she's going to move motor forward. And the first thing I want to do is loosen up the bridle. And I'm having her going neutral right now because we're motoring too fast right now. Communication is essential to the helmsperson. There's the retrieval float out there, and that's where I'm going to be heading toward. And unlike when I first deployed the parachute anchor, I'm going to bring the parachute system underneath the railing because I'm going to use the edge of the boat for leverage and bring in this very large parachute on board. Actually, I'm going to go neutral. I'm going to have her go in neutral. What's happening right now is we've motored past the parachute. It's downwind of us. So I'm going to let the wind capture the boat and push us back a little bit. Put this around the cleat here. And it's essential for the person who's retrieving the parachute to communicate with the helmsperson, because if the line's too tight, for example, I got to ask the helmsperson to motor to the port in this case. I shouldn't be working out at all. It's the boat that's doing the work for you. And the helmsman's doing a good job right now, that helps. Doing an excellent job. When parachutes or lines going underneath the boat, though it's pretty difficult to do on a parachute. Now it's easy because the helmsman's motoring towards that float. I'm going to retrieve the parachute on the port side. And we might be in good shape this time. Parachute's right off on the starboard side. Neutral. I signal the helmsman to go into neutral so they don't actually motor too far. Slight reverse. And I'm bringing in the retrieval line on the same area as the anchor home is sitting because I want to use the edge of the boat for leverage. And I want to go in reverse so that the parachute is more on the port side versus the starboard side in this case. Yeah, once you pull on the line, it pulls the top of the parachute towards the surface and it will close the parachute like an umbrella. Makes it very easy to bring on board versus me not having a trip line earlier. I now have an adequate trip line to pull on board this 24-foot diameter chute. And now what I'm doing is I'm using the boat as leverage since this is a heavier chute. So if I wasn't quite strong enough, I'll let the boat do part of the work again. Parachute's on board. Now I'll bring our shroud lines in that lead to our para-ring setup. And I'm keeping control of my hardware because I don't want to drop it through the shroud line. Done deal. All I got to do is pack it. This is how I pack it. It's not like aerial parachutes where you have to be real perfect on folding every canopy, unless you have some kind of deployment system that the bag is small and you'd have to do that. We simply just put the shroud lines in the center of the parachute canopy, and we leave our hardware, our para-ring hardware, hanging out on the bottom, and then you just fold the parachute canopy in half. And then I roll it up like a sleeping bag. That's all you have to do with any parachute system. This is nylon fabrics. Nylon never rots or molds. If I pack it wet, it'll stay wet for months on a boat. Just like any gear, when I go back to shore, I'll rinse it with fresh water and rinse my boat down as well. That's it, it's done. All I gotta do is put it in this bag and we're good to go. Okay. And just work the bag up over the parachute. And if this was a bumpier day, I would have used spare lines and read them through the webbing and secured the parachute onto the deck so it wouldn't go sliding off. But for demo purposes, this works out well. And then now I'm just going to go ahead and straighten out all my lines so I'm ready to deploy the chute again in the event I have to. You never know when you have to deploy it more than once. Of course, the sport fishermen know that, especially your kite fishermen. When they're doing tournaments, they'll deploy these things 12, 15 times in one day. So they throw everything on deck, lines are all over the place. For us sailboaters, nah. We're doing it because we're going to be in heavy weather. We're way offshore heading to Hawaii and we're tired of heading into the waves. and we need to catch up some rest during the night. If you're going to do an overnight layover somewhere, especially even on a fishing trip, you want to keep the bow into the weather, which stabilizes the boat so it's comfortable to sleep. And at the same time, you're not going to be drifting very far from your area. So you're looking at less than a mile of drift every hour versus roughly 10 miles every hour without a deployed parachute anchor. Significant difference in drift rates. Of my hard work, 'cause I don't want to drop it through the shroud line.
Sea lion down there.
It's always good to have extra help.
Yep.